Stop scrolling. Stop everything you're doing. What I'm about to show you is something the mainstream media is completely ignoring. On January 23rd, 2026, Samsung dropped a bombshell announcement. Not about phones, not about TVs, about silver. And buried deep inside that announcement is one number so shocking it made silver investors worldwide sit up straight. That number? 580 tons of silver per year for just one factory. Welcome to Money Mind Hub Pro. Today, I'm going to show you exactly why Samsung just lit a massive fire under the silver market, and why you have a very small window to act before this thing goes supernova. Here's what I'm revealing in the next 10 minutes. First, the exact technology Samsung announced and why it needs 5 times more silver than anything before it. Second, the hidden math that shows the global silver supply simply cannot meet this new demand. I'm talking exact calculations. And third, a simple 3-step action plan, whether you have $100 or $10,000, to position yourself before this shortage story goes mainstream. This isn't hype. This isn't speculation. This is industrial demand colliding with geological reality. So, let's start with what Samsung actually announced. Their press release was all about electric vehicles, faster charging, longer range, all the usual stuff. But buried in paragraph 7 is this one sentence. The new silver carbon composite anode requires approximately 35 grams of silver per kilowatt hour of battery capacity. Now, let me do the math that nobody else is doing. A standard EV battery is about 75 kilowatt hours. You multiply that by 35 grams of silver per kilowatt hour and you get 2,625 grams of silver. That's 84 ounces of pure silver for every single car. Samsung's new factory in Texas is set to produce 200,000 battery packs a year. So 200,000 cars times 84 ounces each equals 16.8 million ounces of silver per year from one factory. And get this, Samsung has already announced plans for 6 more of these factories by 2030. You do the math? We are talking about over 100 million ounces of new silver demand just from Samsung alone. Now here's where it gets really scary, the supply crisis. Total global silver mining production last year was around 820 million ounces. Here's where it already goes. Industrial use takes up 510 million ounces. Jewelry and silverware, another 180 million. Photography still uses about 30 million. And investment demand is consistently over 100 million ounces. If you add all that up, it's already more than 820 million ounces. We are already in a supply deficit for the 4th year in a row. Now, add Samsung's new demand of over 100 million ounces on top of that. Add the solar panel industry, which used 140 million ounces last year and is growing 25% annually. Add the rollout of 5G infrastructure. Add the explosion of AI data centers. Every single server needs silver. So where is all this silver going to come from? It's coming from existing stockpiles, the vaults at COMEX, the LBMA in London, and the warehouses in Shanghai. But look at the data from COMEX, the main US futures exchange. In 2021, they held 150 million ounces of registered silver. By 2025, that was down to just 42 million. And today, it's sitting at a precarious 28 million ounces. That's an 81% decline in just 4 years. At this burn rate, the COMEX vaults could be completely empty in less than 18 months. You can't print silver. You can't just create it out of thin air. Every ounce Samsung buys for its batteries is an ounce you can't buy. And here's an insider signal that should make you pay very close attention. JP Morgan, historically known as the biggest manipulator of the silver price, is now net long silver for the first time in 30 years. Let me repeat that. The bank that spent decades suppressing silver prices with massive short positions is now betting on higher prices. Banks with hundreds of billions in short exposure are quietly switching sides. They know what's coming. The question is, do you? Don't just take my word for it. Keith Neumeyer, the CEO of First Majestic Silver, one of the largest silver miners in the world, recently said that silver should be trading between $100 and $130 an ounce based on the gold to silver ratio alone. He says the industrial demand story makes its potential explosive. And Samsung's own patent filings specifically mention a silver-based solid electrolyte interface as critical to performance. Not optional, critical. They must have the silver and they will pay any price to get it. We've seen this movie before. Back in 2011, silver rocketed from $18 to nearly $50 in just 8 months. That's a 172% gain. What was the driver? A combination of industrial demand and investment panic. Today, the industrial demand is far greater and the available supply is far less. The setup we have right now is significantly stronger than it was in 2011. Let's do a quick price calculation using the historical gold to silver ratio. With gold at, say, $2,800 an ounce, a return to the historical average ratio of 40 to 1 puts silver at $70. If we hit a crisis level ratio of 15 to 1, that implies a silver price of $186. We're not just predicting here, we're calculating based on historical precedent. Okay, enough analysis. Here's your simple 3-step action plan. Step 1, secure physical silver first. Before you do anything else, you need to own the actual metal in your hands. I'm not talking about paper silver, ETFs, or certificates. I mean physical bars and coins in your possession. If an exchange like COMEX defaults, and it's a real possibility, paper silver could become worthless. Physical silver in your hand, that's real wealth. Start with what you can afford. Consistency is more important than timing. Buy from reputable dealers online or at your local coin shop. A key rule is to never buy more than you're comfortable holding for at least 5 years. Step 2, ignore the paper price. The spot price you see on your screen is often used as a tool for manipulation. Big banks use it to shake out nervous investors. When you see silver crash overnight, that's not a correction, it's a shakeout. Your job is to ignore it. Focus on accumulating ounces, not the dollar value. Every dip is a gift. Every crash is an opportunity to buy more. The physical market is telling the real story, and that story is one of a severe shortage. Step 3, dollar cost average for the next 18 months. This is my timeline strategy. For the next 3 months, be aggressive. Try to secure about 50% of your target position. For the 6 months after that, focus on steady accumulation, adding another 30%. In the final 9 months, be opportunistic, buying the dips to complete your final 20%. Why 18 months? Because that's the timeline for when Samsung's battery production goes into full scale. That's when the real shortage will hit the headlines. You want to be fully positioned before that happens. Not during, not after. Before. Let me summarize. Samsung's new battery tech creates a new demand of over 100 million ounces of silver. COMEX inventories are down 81% in 4 years. Physical premiums are high, signaling a tight market. And JP Morgan has flipped from being a massive seller to a buyer. The evidence is overwhelming. So here's what I need you to do right now. First, if this video opened your eyes, please smash that like button. It tells YouTube to show this to more people who need to hear it. Second, subscribe to Money Mind Hub Pro and hit that notification bell. I'm tracking the silver story every single week, and when the next big development drops, you'll be the first to know. And third, drop a comment below and tell me what your silver target is for 2026. I read every single comment. Finally, and this is the most important action, don't just watch this video and do nothing. Open a new tab right now. Research a reputable dealer and buy your first ounce or your next ounce. The Samsung silver bomb is already detonated. The only question left is, will you be positioned to benefit from it? Or will you be one of the people looking back saying, I wish I had acted when I had the chance? The window is closing fast. This is Money Mind Hub Pro. Stack physical, stay informed. I'll see you in the next one.